What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast. I am this week's host, Dre from Dre Area Sports. I'm joined by Aaron of 49ers First Takes. Aaron, what's going on, dude?
Not much, man. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And of course, we're rejoined by Sterling of 49ers Access Podcast. Now, guys, this might be the new start time for the Cover 3 podcast due to new job requirements from one of us. It just makes a lot more sense. And at least now we can say it's Cover 3 in prime time. Sterling, how have you been? I know you weren't here last week. I don't know if you were here the week before. How has it been? Is your house still in one piece, or is the roof caving in?
The roof is done. The house
Nice.
is finished. Life is moving along quickly. And we are quickly approaching the 2026 NFL draft in about a month or so. So the offseason is ticking away, but we're in that little period. So trying to find some news wherever it is, and hopefully the Niners can do something else, whether it's sign Joey Bosa or maybe even re-sign Trent Williams to a long-term deal. But a lot to get into today. Happy to be here.
So, speaking of Joey Bosa, I mean, that's one of the things I want to talk about today. And now, there was a post that was put out there, which, you know, people ran with this like it was breaking news, but in reality, it was like, it was shit we've already known about when it comes to Joey Bosa, when it comes to the Bosa brothers. The Bosas love their money. And there was a post out there, or news out there, saying that he would not take a discount to play for the San Francisco 49ers. I didn't expect him to. I don't know why people thought that he would take a discount. So I don't know why this is even news, but let me ask you guys, Sterling, do you think that the Niners were trying to lowball Nick Bosa, and is that why this came out? Or do you think that is Bosa even interested in coming to San Francisco?
I think Bosa's interested in coming to San Francisco, ... at the right price.
Right.
Now, that's what it's always about, right? Whether it's Nick or Joey, the Bosas, their mother, their father, they go where the money takes them. And if that's Florida, if that's Buffalo of all places last year, I was shocked that happened. If it's San Francisco, they'll sign there. I do wonder, though, well, I don't think San Francisco tried to lowball Joey Bosa. He is a free agent still. And
Yes.
he's at the point of his NFL career where he's above 30, the production's starting to dip to some capacity. He's in that kind of Juwan Jennings sign post-draft area. And those guys usually don't get $15 million, $12 million per year. He's a Deebo Samuel type player now, where it's like, hey, you can be good, but you have a very specific role on a defense or an offense. And he's probably going to be, if they sign him or anybody else does, a role player, not a $12 million a year type of guy he wants to be. So he may not, want to take a discount, but the odds are he's not going to make what he once was just 1 year ago. So lowballing to me is like, I'll give you $6 million, and if you can make $9 million with incentives, that's awesome. But other than that, I'm not going to guarantee him much more.
Yeah, look, I would love to have Joey Bosa on the defensive line. I think, he's a guy that can do a lot of different things in terms of, he's pretty good against the run. He's also a pass rusher as well. To me, he's not the same kind of pass rusher as Nick Bosa. I think Nick Bosa is a much better version of the two Bosa brothers. Way better. And he's more of a muscle. Joey Bosa he's longer, he's more lankier, and more injury prone. But then again, the way Bosa's gone lately, I can't really say that he's any better at that, than Joey. But Aaron, let me ask you, when it comes to the price for Joey Bosa, if you had to put a guess, what do you think the price for Joey Bosa would be?
Something between 15 and 20 million.
Yikes. What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen.
For 1 year?
I don't know.
Yes.
Listen, we talked about this on Monday, me and Mike, and I said, I'm like telling Niner fans, listen, don't get your feelings hurt, but the Bosas care about money, and then they care about football, and that's okay.
Like he made $12.6 million last year, which could have become 15.
Right, and I'm a hard pass on Joey Bosa too because one, he's not worth the money at this point in his career, and two, it doesn't matter to him where he plays. It matters who pays him the most. We got to get this like fantasy out of our head that he's coming here. He wants to play with his brother, and it's gonna be this big family reunion. It's like no, he wants to get paid.
Camaraderie.
The 49ers and
Camaraderie.
that doesn't.
I don't know what his PFF grades were against the run. Maybe Sterling can help us out with that. But I mean, he led the league in forced fumbles, which is hey, that's great. That's turnovers right there in a bag. He also had 5 sacks. His PFF grade overall was 79.3. He's not a bad player. He's 6'5", 280. He is 30 years old. So I think if you did bring in a guy like Joey Bosa, he'd have to be on a 1-year deal. I wouldn't imagine they would bring him any more than 1 year. I don't even see him doing a 2-year deal. And in fact, if you ask me, because the way the Bosas love their money, I would say that right now, if he said, if they went to him and said, hey, what are you looking for? He'd probably say 1 year, $18 million. And I think that's his starting point, 18 to 20 million, and then it would kind of go from there. Now, if Bosa remains unsigned past the draft and everyone blows their wad, meaning like they're spending all their money on everybody else, then his price could come down because he's like, well, look, everyone's already spent all their big money. They don't have a lot of cap space left for me to fit in, so now I'm gonna have to come down. But I think that if at the best price you can get Joey Bosa, I would say, and this is him at like his bargain price, and no one's gonna like it, but to me this is what it's gonna be: 1 year, $14 million, with incentives that could bring it up to as high as 17 to 18 million. That's what I think he would come here for on a 1-year deal. I don't think he'd come here for 1 year, 10 million, 1 year, 12 million. I think he'd probably want to be right at about 14 to 15 million. And then essentially you're paying the same money you would have paid Juwan Jennings, but now you're paying Joey Bosa, which at this point is probably a more important position to fill than bringing back Juwan Jennings. Sterling, when you hear those kind of numbers, what do you think the number will be at if they want to get a guy like Joey Bosa?
I don't see Joey Bosa being able to attain $20 million on the open market. He's above 30. I don't think he's had over 30. He hasn't had over, according to Pro Football Reference, not PFF, I don't think he's had over 30 pressures and 6 sacks in the same season since 2021.
2 years, $40 million?
No
That's
way.
a lot of money.
You have to ask yourself this question. So, okay, you're not guaranteed to get anybody in the draft, right? But you have to assume there'll be a group of edge rushers the Niners do have a chance at getting, whether it's at 27 or in the 50s. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth paying 12, 15, 18, $20 million for a guy that you can get a baseline production from who's 21 that will cost you a fifth of the price that you're going to have for 5 years, has no injury history? Like, that's the balancing act they have to do of like, yeah, Joey Bosa's a fine guy on paper. The production's dipped. He's a fine run defender. But is he that true pass rushing specialist? Want to pair with Michael? No, Joey's going to want to start, which makes sense. It's Joey Bosa, but the Niners don't even have a place open for him to start. You're not benching Michael. He's a first-round draft pick who has to play, who didn't play half the year last year because of an injury. So Joey Bosa to me is like, either you come here and you're a situational player, and to that I say, if you want to do that, awesome, but you're not paying those guys $12 million. Like Bryce Huff wasn't getting $12 million in San Francisco last year for all the right reasons. Like, you don't pay third down pass rushers $20 million a year. That's what Joey Bosa would be. So when you get upwards of 20, 12, it's like, nope, hard no. Like, not even close to being in the same ballpark of entertaining the idea. I'm talking half of that, maybe to even entertain it. So it's gross. It's completely gross if that's the price tag for Joey Bosa.
But I mean, think about having him and Nick Bosa on each end. To me, I mean, getting Joey Bosa, is it a good thing? Yeah, I think it would be a good thing, but I don't know. I feel like the sound of having both Bosas on, the Bosa brothers sounds cooler. And in reality, maybe it's not as dominant as one would hope.
Sure.
I agree that if he's going to come in and be a third down, kind of like filling that Bryce Huff type of role, then yeah, he shouldn't be getting $18-20 million a year. But these guys, they want their freaking money, and the Niners might get desperate enough where they're like, hey, we need to have another so-called premier pass rusher. Let's go this route. And really, if they were to sign him, they don't lose anything. So they just bring him in. I don't know if there's
Besides
draft
money.
compensation. Yeah, there's no draft compensation going back to Buffalo. I think it's just him being brought on. So those guys like Jonathan Grenard. But the problem with that is you have to trade to get him, and you've already traded your third-round pick. Do you want to trade a fourth-round pick for that guy? I don't know. I mean, he's a good player. Joey Bosa had a better PFF ranking than Grenard. But Grenard's 28 years old. Bosa's 30. Yeah. So really the price should be driving way down on what Joey Bosa should be asking for. But overall, though, I would love to have him. I think it'd be cool to have the Bosa brothers, rushing the quarterback. But like you said, is he going to be a guy that wants to come in on third down to rush the quarterback? I think for longevity purposes and at his watching Nick Bosa out there for being an every down edge rusher, he might be like, well, hey, I want to be out there. The hell with that. So look, we know that Nick Bosa recently restructured his contract, freeing up a ton of cap space. And a lot of people believe that, hey, he's doing this because he's trying to helping to free up cap space to sign Joey Bosa. Because I think he freed up $15 million, I want to say.
Around that.
And so that's where the number came from. In my mind, I was like, well, if it's $15 million, I can see them going like, okay, we're going to give that to Joey Bosa. But like you said, at 30, if this guy was a perennial, 12 and a half, 10 sack guy, then you might argue, okay, hey, maybe that's worth it. But for only 5 sacks last season, I don't know if anything over 10 million is worth, or if he's worth anything over 10 million. And then how was he against the run? Do you have those numbers, Sterling?
If my screen doesn't freeze, I do.
Well, it's okay.
The run defense was 52.0. So not terrible, but kind of average at best against the run. Now, PFF grades don't tell you the entire story, but he is a guy who is losing body strength. He's not the player he once was, obviously. He's had surgery after surgery, injury after injury. I do want to ask Aaron and Dre this question, though, because, you have to ask yourself, the Niners may want Joey Bosa, but what does Joey Bosa want? Does he want a ring chase? Does he want to play for the elite quarterbacks, not have to be this big, productive player on defense and kind of not coast, but just realize that I'm towards the end of my career and I want to have a quarterback to make up the difference of my falls or my failures? Does he want to go play for Kansas City? Want to go play for the Ravens and play with Trey Hendrickson and Lamar Jackson? Does he want to go back to Buffalo? Did you want to go play in a place where the income tax is low? Tennessee with Robert Saleh? Florida for a year? I don't know. It's like Joey Bosa, to me, fits a lot of places, including San Francisco, but it does feel rather ill-conceived to be like, yep, bring in Joey Bosa. Okay, then what do you do with him? The plan that you, or at least Niner fans can envision, doesn't really fit Joey Bosa at all. Whether it's the money, which the Niners want to have as much carryover cap as possible, because they're going to have to pay Purdy more money and Kittle more money and Warner more money and then this, that, and the other. And right now, Trent Williams, 2 more money if they can get a deal done. So it's like the Niners may fit Joey Bosa, but Joey Bosa really doesn't fit the 49ers.
I would rather, if you're going to spend money on an aging pass rusher and he's coming in literally for a 1-year deal, I feel like Cam Jordan is the better choice. I know he's old. He's really old.
He's too old.
He's been productive his
Who
whole
cares?
career. He hasn't had.
No, you know why?
I don't think he has a real big lengthy injury history either. He hasn't. I don't think he's missed a ton of games.
I feel like Cam Jordan, right? Look, nothing against him. I think he's a really good player. But bringing in a guy like Cam Jordan, that's like bringing in. That's it's just, again, I always say this as an example. That's like a San Francisco Giants move. You bring in a veteran guy who used to be pretty good, and now maybe he'll give you 20 home runs out of AT&T Park. It's just kind of like, okay, those are Band-Aid players These aren't the guys that are going to push you over the edge where it's like, hey, this guy could do. He's multifaceted. He's going to play almost every down. I don't know.
Think costs less?
Joey
costs less?
Joey Bosa's not.
Cam Jordan costs less because he's older. Then it's like,
there's your answer. There's your answer.
Where's the longevity there?
You're not going for longevity, you're going for a placeholder.
Well, you're going for 1 year. I mean,
the Niners need at least a body, a comparable body who can rush the passer. They don't need a starter. They just need bodies that can rush the passer.
Okay, Dre, and you're a big PFF guy, right? Okay, so if my screen isn't frozen, Cam Jordan was better against the run last year, had just 20 less pressures, although played different positions than Joey Bosa did. He had 10 sacks.
Who did? Sorry, my wife was
Cam
texting
Jordan.
me.
No, Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan also better in coverage. Now that's kind of a whatever thing, but
how often did he drop back?
I mean, probably not much, but he's better than Joey Bosa was, and you're playing with the new defensive scheme now that will have edge rusher drop back and pass and coverage. So it's like, I know that you can say, well, why get Cam Jordan? Because Joey Bosa's 30 and Cam Jordan's like 97 years old. What are we doing here?
He's my age. 46.
But for 1 year, if one guy costs you less and is equally productive,
yes, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Give you somewhat of the same production with less injury history,
right?
That doesn't mind being the 4 or 5 of an edge rushing group to pair with Keon White and Samuel Kawanu on your third downs or kind of your third level of defense, second level of defense when it comes to your defensive line. Why would you not take that risk or take that chance? So Cam Jordan comes in, he can teach Myles Williams more, be a veteran player for him who can play the inside and the outside. He can teach Alfred Collins and guys like that on top of Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa already doing it. And so it's like, I'd rather have a guy who isn't money hungry, is a team player, is looking for a place to win and compete and thinks he has more in the tank, where I don't really know what Joey Bosa wants. I know it's money.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really wants to be part of a team and that's speculation, obviously, but Cam Jordan feels like more of a Niner than Joey Bosa does.
Do you get the impression when you see a guy like Joey Bosa that he's off to win a championship, or does he look like a mercenary that just wants to get paid?
Oh, or what really is who is Joey Bosa these days? I mean, he came out of Ohio State, and everybody thought this guy was going to be a monster,
which he was for a little bit of time.
But I still think that. I think Nick Bosa has had a better career than Joey Bosa at this point.
Yeah, Nick's been a defensive player of the year.
Yeah. At least with Cam Jordan. And look, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just think he's kind of old, and I'd rather get somebody with a little more youth. But at least with Cam Jordan, look, he got 10 sacks last season. That was 16th in the league. So, look.
Jump in, Aaron. Aaron, jump in. I know you want to.
If you're going based, the injury history in the age, and then you go, okay, so like Cam Jordan's older, but he's still pretty productive. I think it's the Bosa name that everybody's getting hung up on.
It is.
It's this thing, we're thinking of them in 2019 form, where Nick was amazing and Joey was a lot younger. And that's where everybody's mind is. We have to come to grips that this is 2026. Nick's coming off of his third knee injury. Joey's not exactly a healthy player, and Joey doesn't seem like his motivation is winning. He seems like a guy that goes where the money is. And I completely agree. Cam Jordan just seems more like a Niner, and it's only a 1-year deal. I mean, look at the Niners of the old days, bringing in guys like, Hacksaw Reynolds or Dean. His last name was Dean.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
There was just players that they brought. There was players that they brought in that were not cornerstone players. They were veteran players that kind of helped round out the roster. And that's kind of like with the Cam Jordan. I would still draft an edge rusher, and I would still try to keep developing Myles Williams. You know what I mean? You can never have enough edge rushers.
But Dre's big hang up, and even with draft prospects, is age. You talk about guys like Romello Height from Texas Tech or Keem Mesidor from Miami. He's like, no, they're 25. No, you can't take them.
I'm just saying, by the time his rookie contract's over, he's almost 30, and you're like, well, time to move on.
Who cares?
Still good. It's a good 5-year run.
It's all about the price and the value, right? The PlayStation 5 went up in price today. Thank God I bought it 5 years ago.
Right? Why did it go up in price? That's crazy.
How is that possible?
Sony being greedy. But my point more so is we all, I mean, maybe not nowadays, but we're all dreading gas prices now. The value isn't as good. It's damn. But if you got Joey Bosa a decade ago, you love it. Whereas Cam Jordan's still productive now and durable.
But here's the thing. Well, Cam Jordan's also
He's
36
like Velcro,
years
baby.
old.
It never breaks.
36 years old. Him and Trent Williams are on like the AARP account together.
And they're going to pay him a ton of money
with that. I knew you were going with the AARP.
AARP. I mean, both of them were like, "Hey, all right, Trent, let's go."
We got timeshares, baby.
And so that's what I worry about. And already we've invested in a lot of players that are over 30, right? And you got a lot of players that are at 30 or just over 30. And so then again, the question comes up, can this team stay healthy? And I think a lot of people, even analysts, are saying, hey, this team is going to be really good as long as they can stay healthy. And based off of last season, you're like, man, if that happens again, who knows what's going to happen. But nevertheless, Joey Bosa, a topic. The other one I want to get to is
Well, first, hold on. I have to ask you this, too, because I know we're talking about the injuries and the age and stuff, but, like, then what do we make of them signing Mike Evans off an injury-riddled season and Dre Greenlaw, who hasn't been healthy for the last 2 years? They clearly don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like how many more injury-riddled or players with injury past are they going to want to bring in? That's why, again, with Joey Bosa, I'm not sure if that's what you want to do. And like I said, I think the Bosa name is more sexy than anything else.
Yeah.
I don't see him racking up 10 sacks. I see him probably doing the same as he did last season, getting 5 sacks. I could see them making a move for Cam Jordan just at the last minute, but he's 36. He might want to retire. We don't know. There's also guys out there like Leonard Floyd who did play under Raheem Morris last season. I really hope they don't go that route. But it wouldn't surprise me if they brought someone like him back if he was open to it. And they said, hey, you want to come back for $8 million? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And they might bite at that. Who knows? He wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible when we had him. He had 10 sacks, I want to say.
Yeah, but all his sacks are like cleanup sacks. They're like,
it was like he was already under pressure and he came in and finished him off. Like
somebody was falling down and he just landed on top of him. Oh, look, a sack.
Almost like Brian Burns' film last year. Don't tell Brad Graham I said that.
A lot of these guys were big on Brian Burns. They're like, man, that guy, that's the guy to get.
He's a player, but look at his film. It's all cleanup sacks, basically.
So, just like when everyone says, oh, well, Mac Jones, he doesn't throw the ball downfield all that much. And, I mean, he had some really good passes throughout the season. I like what Mac Jones did, but, I mean, it wasn't like he was airing it out. He was hitting Christian McCaffrey in the flat, like,
4 yards.
Stop. Nonstop. He was just like, go.
4 yards apiece, just getting first downs over and over again.
Yeah, it's really what it was. But so we talk about Joey Bosa, and after you break that down and really start to talk about it, it really doesn't make much sense. It really doesn't correlate with what the Niners want to do. Now, if Bosa were to say, "Hey, I'll come here for $8 million," then I'd say, "Okay, let's do it." But sure. If he runs the dice and says, I'll do it, but I need $14 million, and they bite at that, then that's insane. That's like, okay, now you just blew the rest of your wad. I don't know how much more cap space they have. You're gonna need about $10 million to sign your draft class. You're gonna need a few more to bring in a few more players.
About 24 to 27 million. Right
they have, according to over the cap, which is never really accurate. Usually it's less. They have 28. So like Aaron was saying, 24, 22 around there.
So there you go. I mean, you got $14 million right there. And so, obviously if they were to sign him, a lot of it goes into signing bonuses and, workout bonuses and all the weird bonuses they throw in there and signing bonuses and all that. But still, it is a possibility. Go ahead, Aaron.
So me and Mike had this kind of a disagreement on Monday. He made a tweet about how like the Niners kind of lowball and they don't want to pay for top dollar. And he brought in the, I forgot exactly who the player was. It might have been something about Joey Bosa or whoever. Anyways, I told Mike, I said, yeah, they're more frugal than anything, but like the Joey Bosa one, like I'm not overpaying for him. I'm definitely going to lowball a guy like him. I'm not going to give him top dollar. The Niners have their price. The Niners have a way of doing business. And a lot of people don't agree with it. I mean, the way that they got guys this year, they got the 2 players that took less money to come here with Christian Kirk and Mike Evans, who are looking to win. And he's like, they're just, that's what they're doing. They're kind of like counting on their legacy as a team who's in the playoffs every year and getting a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But that, to me, that's great teams or really good teams are not out there spending all their money on like 2 or 3 big name players.
No,
there's no way you can keep a competitive roster if you give 3 guys top dollar and the rest of your players are a bunch of scrubs. The way the Niners do business is good business. You can't give top dollar, and lowballing. The Niners just have a price. And I'm like, I was trying to make him realize that, like, you're not going to give Joey Bosa top dollar. I would definitely lowball him. Are you going to give him 15 to 20 million for a guy that's 30 plus and really hasn't been super productive in a couple of years? No, I'm good. So,
and shout out to new member Michael Bates. Looks like he's a member of the 49ers Access community. Thank you.
We did
for
it,
that.
Michael. We're best friends now. Best friends.
We did it.
How many members do you have now?
1.
There it is, Michael Bates, the first member.
Exclusive OnlyFans content coming your way, Michael.
You will get feet pics at the end of the week.
Here it is, and just for
OnlyFans begins now.
Just for being the first member and come crashing in, this video is for you.
Whoa! Comic Con!
There it is, Michael Bates. Welcome to the 49ers Access podcast community.
Let's go.
One of hopefully many more. Yikes, says Lori Matthews.
Lori, become a member too. Come on, be
there
number
you go.
2. Lori. Come on.
It's funny because I used to use that video whenever I would introduce CG Ruthless. I used to go, here's my co-host, CG Ruthless.
They go, wow.
He'd be like, that's right.
You should not have name dropped. It's a bad.
It's all good.
Oh, we love it.
So
He's the best.
we talk about Joey Bosa. We talk about defensive ends. We talk about possibly getting one in the draft. Now, there's been a huge rumor going around, and to me, this is more like there's nothing to talk about. Let's make something up, or let's create a story and let all the content creators kind of run with it. And that story, of course, is Myles Garrett to the 49ers in a trade. I don't believe this is even possible to happen.
Wow.
The amount of draft capital you'd have to give up to get him would be astronomical. I saw somebody post a trade proposal that was the number 27 pick in this year's draft, Mac Jones and Trent Williams for Myles Garrett. I don't even think that gets it done. They'd be like, oh, that's cool. Well, we also want 2 more first-round picks and your firstborn child. I don't see it.
I was talking to Kruger about this last night, and he mentioned like, oh, why trade Trent Williams and next year's first-round draft pick? But okay, the value's more in 2027. And I was like, yeah, but like the asking price starts at what Micah Parsons went for, and then double it. Like, Myles Garrett has won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. He broke the sack record last year. Like, the Browns have no reason to trade him. Even if he holds out, they can say too bad. Like, he's under contract, signed last year, mind you. So it's not as if the Browns are inclined to move him. I know they redid his contract and he's not going to be as expensive, but it's like, why would the Browns want Trent Williams, who's 37 going on 38? When they pick 4 and like 12, they can get a left tackle twice if they want.
They're like, we want to get someone to cover what's his face, Deshaun Watson's blind side or Shedeur Sanders'
blind side.
I mean, it's like Trent Williams. This is not what he would fetch for you, and I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. If you're going to trade Trent Williams, it's going to be to a contender that wants to win now.
Well, I was going to say, like, that's kind of a good talking point because, and we'll get in the trend at some point, but like, what is the market for a player like Trent Williams? We talked about a 3rd-round draft pick before, right? Like maybe a low-end second if a team is like really desperate for him. But like the Browns are a team who are like, why would we want him? We're rebuilding. If we want anything, we want young assets. They'd be more inclined to take people like Pearsall and Green and Michael and Alfred Collins in a massive package with more picks involved than even Trent being the main part of it because he's 37 going on 38. And Trent would just say, I'm not going to Cleveland, brother. I'm sorry. I'm not ending my Hall of Fame career in Cleveland of all places.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
But I think the starting asking price is 3 first-round draft picks. And if you don't want to pick up the phone, fine. But I can guarantee you one team would. Philadelphia.
Or the Rams.
Or the Rams. Oh, God, if the Rams got them, it'd be terrible. And if anyone out there says, oh, watch out, because the Seahawks. No, they're not. They're not.
I'll tell you what, though, guys.
Against their entire philosophy. Plus, they just won the Super Bowl. So either they'd be like, let's give away our future. Let's go after Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, who's not even on the market anymore. No.
I'll tell you what, though, guys. If there was one player that I'd be willing to give away assets to, would be a generational pass rusher like Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a Hall of Fame player, or he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. So I know the Niners aren't big into doing that kind of stuff. I know a lot of teams wouldn't, other than maybe say like the Rams and the Eagles and maybe a smattering of other teams. But like, if there is one player that I would be okay with the Niners giving up multiple first-round picks for, it would be Myles Garrett. That's it.
I would go further, Aaron. Take it further. I would trade Nick Bosa and first-round draft picks.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, the idea is that you want to partner Nick Bosa with Myles Garrett, so that's like that would almost defeat the purpose. I mean, you're
upgrading, but you're upgrading and you're keeping Michael most likely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would love to. The thing with Nick, and I'm sure we can talk about this before the end of the show, but like,
talk about it right now. Go.
There's some interesting conversations that are going to happen in the next couple of years with some players that are aging out, and one of those players is Nick. And I've sat down with my brother. He's, again, a Dolphins fan. We talk about football all the time. He agreed with me. He said if there was one play, I told Jared, I said, there's one player that you would move on from in the Niners who's aging and has a lot of injuries. I said, he totally agrees Nick Bosa would be the guy. He said he's not the same player. He hasn't been as productive.
Well, we don't know that.
I feel like the Nick Bosa's, I don't know. To me, his stock is way down from where it was.
It's because of the injury. He looked phenomenal to begin last year. Like,
I was going to say,
generational.
He looked really, really good early on. It was like, dude, this guy's going to tear it up, and then he tore his ACL.
Yeah. You have to start making those tough decisions soon if you want to continue winning. Go ahead.
I know where you're going with this. But to me, if you don't have a clear replacement for Nick Bosa, I don't think you get rid of Nick Bosa, because when healthy, this guy has been a difference maker every single down that he's out there. He is a difference maker. He's a guy that you have to account for by the offense. They have to know where he's at, and he gets double teams all the time. And that was the idea.
I don't see him as a game wrecker like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a game wrecker. Nick
Bosa is a game wrecker. Nick Bosa, you're telling me he's not a game wrecker. He's the reason why we beat the Seahawks week 1 when he drove Abe Lucas's ass into Sam Darnold's fist. It was like, come on, there we go. Without him, we wouldn't have won the game.
I don't know.
But you're right that Nick is a game wrecker, but there's levels to this. Like, Myles Garrett changes the way opposing offenses, not just scheme against him, because definitely Nick Bosa too, but like the way he can decimate an offense by himself. Like, the Browns have been a great defense, because Jimmy Schwartz is there, but because Myles Garrett's on that defense, taking up double, triple teams and still getting sacks. Nick's not doing that. And like, Nick's a great player. Like, I'm not saying get rid of Nick. Nick is a great player. I believe in him, and I think if healthy, he's still one of the top 5-6 guys in football coming off the edge. But it's not like you can't upgrade if you want to get crazy with it. Like, Max Crosby went for 2 first-round draft picks, then didn't.
Right. So,
like, what could Nick get you?
But they just redid
Myles Garrett. You do it.
They just restructured Nick Bosa's contract, and it really feels like after this next upcoming season, they're gonna have to make a decision on they're gonna have to restructure his contract or re-up him or look to try and trade him. So
100%, perfect point, Trey.
And
they have the leverage to do that.
If they win the Super Bowl, I know I'm stretching the everything here. If they run the table and all of a sudden they win a Super Bowl, my God, think about his value then. If you wanted to trade him, then you could really capture some first round picks.
He would have to be productive and along with winning the Super Bowl. If he has like a 6-sack season and we win the Super Bowl, he doesn't have that kind of leverage. But he gets like a 14 plus.
Jalen Carter after the Eagles won that Super Bowl, was like, this guy's unstoppable. He's amazing. And right now, the Eagles were like, at one point, they were like, oh, we're trying to trade him. Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyone
Do you
is
really
expendable.
think that was real?
Probably not.
That was not real.
That was weird.
He
Again,
also has not been. He's not been good the last 2 years. That's just me, though.
every year he's gotten a little bit worse, but I would still take him. I'll
He's
say
also
that.
a terrible human being. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some would say the same thing about what's his name, Zion Young, coming out of Missouri.
That's true.
I thought you were going to say that about me. I thought
To
a lot
be
of people
fair,
said that.
Zion Young didn't get the DUI with his friends and let someone die. Jalen Carter did that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah, and Joe Mixon punched a girl clear across the face and knocked her out, and he made it to the NFL and almost won a Super Bowl with the
Joe
Bengals.
Mixon did the exact same thing, and he's still kicking out there in Houston.
Who was the other running back that beat somebody in an elevator?
Kareem Hunt kicked her in the face. Granted,
Oh no.
No,
Ray
Rice. Ray Rice.
Rice.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
What's up with
Yeah,
these punk ass guys that hit women, man? What's up with
It's
that?
not good. Did you ever see the video? And this is a horrible topic we're talking about, but
I don't
did you
know
ever
how
see the
we got
video
into-
where it was a minor league baseball player and he like completely beat the crap out of his girlfriend in the staircase
Jesus.
at the arena? It was so horrible.
oh my God.
Yeah, and then the team ended up cutting him, which is like,
I hope so.
Thank you. You have to at that point. I mean, what's
49ers
worse?
after dark.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, what's
yeah.
worse though is guys who are doing that, or guys like Alden Smith who just completely let his life completely fall apart in front of the entire media. It was just
What what happened to him though? Colin Kaepernick started kicking it with his girl. Remember that report?
That-
and he confronted
that is-
Kaepernick at practice.
That's true.
everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Kaepernick, and yeah. So that's a whole other
I would have gone
stream.
after somebody too if
Oh,
one of my coworkers,
You know,
The end of
the
the car
interview,
fire.
the interview where he was outside the courthouse or police station, and he was like, "I'm not a bad guy." I was like, "Oh." It's like,
You have
get
to tell
out of there,
people-
get in the car, leave. And then he went to the Raiders. I was like, oh,
And
gonna
the
tell somebody-
Cowboys.
and
If you're
the
gonna tell somebody you're
Cowboys.
a bad guy, you're a bad guy.
Before all of that, though, God, he was amazing.
He was.
Oh,
But we have to
What?
we have to look at it through that lens of Justin Smith.
You got something? Oh, I guess not.
no,
You're
I was
all-
referring to Alden Smith. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
he was
he was
amazing. He's a
incredible.
Hall of Famer.
I was waiting for some
If it
breaking
ended the
news,
way-
like
Yeah.
Niners trade 4 first-round picks for Myles
I can
Garrett.
find you some breaking news if you want. It's not going to be good.
No,
though.
yeah. We're
GSA
talking about
back,
Myles
baby.
Garrett. Myles Garrett going to the Niners. So another thing I want to talk about. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the defense. I want to talk to you guys about the offense. Look, Juwan Jennings, another guy out there who's seeking $20 million a year. Somebody needs to slap him across the face and go, Juwan, wake up. That's not going to happen. No
Oh,
one's
my
giving you
God.
$20 million. I don't care who it is. The Titans aren't going to give you $20 million. Nobody is.
He needs to fire his agent.
Hey,
ASAP.
Joseph Ehrenberg, he's a member.
Yo,
We got 2. Let's go, baby.
He must have done it behind the scenes.
Oh, I think
Did a
Joseph
little
DM'd
off-
me
he
last
did a
night
little
actually, when Larry was
offline.
talking.
Okay, here we go. Joseph Ehrenberg, this one is for you. There he is. He's arrived, and he's a member of the 49ers Access
that
podcast.
Okay. Joseph did DM me last night when Larry talked for like 35 minutes and I didn't get a single word in. I'm not gonna put it on screen, but all right, Joseph, I see you.
$20 million for that bum.
I see you up there.
Alden was a sack master. He was averaging a sack per game in the NFL. You remember the game? This is what happens in the offseason. We start reminiscing. You remember the game against the NFC title game against the Seahawks? The last time that era of Niners were really, really competitive. We had Anquan Bolden. The first play, I think it was the first play of the game. They ran a bootleg, and Alden Smith, he sacked Russell Wilson and stripped the ball. It was a fumble, and Niners got it back immediately. It was like, oh my God, this is it. We're gonna win this game. And then the Seahawks held them to a field goal. I was like, fuck. But anyway,
why are we doing this to ourselves? What are we doing?
there's a lot of them. You know, it's funny. Like,
What else are we gonna do? It's the off season.
As a kid, I always considered the Niners to be like the cream of the crop amongst all the Bay Area teams.
Where
like,
is the Macho Man video for this? The cream rises to the top.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
But it just seems like as we got older, it's just been heartbreak after heartbreak, and we can count. I mean, even the Jaquaski Tart dropped interception. Like, that was circulating just recently. It was like, why is
49er therapy hour.
Why is everyone circulating this video? I don't want to see this. Anyway,
was there more pain in the Harbaugh era than there has been in the Kyle Shanahan one?
Yes. Even though Kyle's lost 2 Super Bowls.
No.
I think the Harbaugh era hurt more than the Shanahan era has so far.
No,
because it hurt more for me because we were bad for a good chunk of time. We got better with Harbaugh, and then you had the Kyle Williams fiasco. They would have beaten the Patriots that year. If the Niners would have won that game, they would have beaten the Patriots.
I just feel that the Chiefs Super Bowls, especially the second, we were the better team on paper by far.
Yeah, but you can also argue the Niners were the better team against the Ravens. They just had one of the worst halves ever.
Ever.
I never understood.
They came back and showed who they were.
See, here's the thing. That's why as much as I love listening to Dante, and they'll have some of the old guys like Willis and all these other guys on these podcasts, and they'll kind of crap on our generation players, like our team right now and stuff. And I'm like, you didn't win a Super Bowl either. And in fact, you played one of the worst halves in Super Bowl history. And like, I have, sometimes like I have to like, I want to DM one of those guys and be like, yo, you need to check yourself. Like, you didn't exactly set the world on fire.
Imagine DMing Dante Whitner or Deshaun Colson, being like, you need to check yourself.
Hey, you need to check yourself. My name's Aaron. I'm from New York.
He would find where I live, and he would find where I live and come up and beat my ass for sure.
It's
Buffalo before San Francisco. He played in Buffalo, right?
Who?
Yes, did
Dante?
Oh, yeah, he did.
He'd kick your ass, Aaron.
You're probably bigger than he is. Just gotta get on top of him.
Yeah, I'm definitely probably bigger than he is, but he's also like probably works out and has muscles and stuff. I don't have that.
It's the miscues that hurt the most. Like I was saying, the Jaquaski Tart dropping the interception that could have changed the whole complexity of the game. And it's funny because that throw by Stafford at the time, at that moment, like Stafford was known for when the moment gets really big, he'll force the ball downfield and turn it over. And it was happening in front of us until he dropped that ball, and then all of a sudden
he threw a punt. He threw a punt in the middle of the field. And then all of a
sudden, the Rams win that game. Now Stafford's regarded as like one of the best quarterbacks out there right now, just clutch. But leading up, like in that game, he had a reputation for choking in the big moment, and he was about to do it again, and then he dropped it. But again, against the Chiefs the first time. What's his name? The safety, Tashawn. No.
Huh?
Gibson.
Oh, the second time Tashawn the deep ball.
Yeah, like that should have been an interception. He lost track of it. If he would have tracked that ball, that would have been an interception, and he lost it.
The second one. You know what's weird is that the first one to me hurts more because like we really could have stunted the growth of Mahomes in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Second time it ended it, and it was like, damn. Like you can always go back in the domino effect. Like if the Niners win that Super Bowl, funny enough, I think the exact same quarterback controversy happens. They still keep Jimmy. He gets hurt again. He probably coasts even more throughout his time. And they still go and try to get Trey Lance, or maybe they get Matthew Stafford. Who knows?
But I think, to be honest, I think that if so this is actually a good topic because this is something I thought about the other day that I wanted to bring up on the podcast. And since we're doing it now, let's just do it. You have 3 different. I guess for this conversation, yeah, you could do it. You have 3 different scenarios, right?
Yeah.
In 2011, NFC title game. Kyle Williams, it hits off his leg.
Oh,
he pretends like it doesn't. Oh, and the Niners end up losing that game. If the Niners win that game go to the Super Bowl and win, do they still draft Colin Kaepernick, or do they just stick with Alex Smith?
Good question, man.
Ooh.
That is a good
Because
question.
the next year, as soon as he got hurt, he was like,
What year
get
was that
Colin
again?
in there.
It was 2011, 2013.
That was a 2011
Ernberg's like,
season.
I hate the
2011.
Niners so much.
We all do to some extent.
And everyone in the chat, chime in as well. If the Niners win that game against the Giants and go on to win the Super Bowl against the Patriots, do the Niners stick with Alex Smith and not even draft Colin Kaepernick?
Greg Roman still the play caller?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, he would have been. Wait, hold on.
I don't know, man.
But when
really
was Cap
don't know.
drafted?
2012, wasn't he? Or was it 2011?
Yeah. I think it was 2011. I think he's already on the team.
He was on the team.
Yeah, so
So maybe they still
you
do.
had him anyways.
Yeah. Because they weren't sold on Alex Smith anyway, because he had been through an up and down career. That was his best year, was the year they went to the title game.
Do you know the story of why Harbaugh ended up keeping Smith? Like their interaction that led to him like being like, yeah, this is my guy for, a year and a half, I guess.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Smith was at the facility when Harbaugh got hired, right? He's rehabbing, working out, getting his arm ready. They like went and played catch. And during their catching session together, that's when Jim was like, this is my guy. And I'm
They fell in
like,
love.
you played catch with the dude and said, this is him.
This is him.
It took Kyle Shanahan half of that to want Trey Lance. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on, man. Like, oh my goodness. So all that to say, Jim being the ultimate motivator of quarterbacks. Like, I think you could have put a saltine cracker just being mid, no flavor, nothing really in that quarterback room. And Jim Harbaugh gets the best out of the guys. Now, they'll falter in some moments, whether it's Herbert or whatnot, but like, he's just the ultimate motivator. He doesn't call the offense, doesn't call the defense, but like, man, if you want to, make chicken salad out of chicken shit sometimes, Jim Harbaugh's your guy. Like, he really is.
Yeah.
Like, that Niners team wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what it was. Like,
I feel like
ultimately
there's a
changed-
shelf life though with that kind of.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Okay. So we move on. In 2012, if the Niners get into the end zone and they win the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
how does that change the trajectory of the Niners? They obviously re-signed Kaepernick, or they signed that big contract he got anyway. But do you think it would have altered things the following year? I don't know if it would have.
Jed's not firing Jim Harbaugh. Jed
Well, yeah,
could
he's not firing
like,
Jim Harbaugh.
He is untouchable at that point.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like-
politics in the chat.
Oh man. So like, I also don't know because like the way things ended so quickly. You lose the Super Bowl, the next year you lose in the title game, and then you're 8-8 and it's like all over. Like you have to wonder if they win the Super Bowl. And let's say the same thing plays out and they lose to the Seahawks the next year, and then they lose to or they go 8-8. Like, does everybody retire? Does the team age out? Like,
yeah, I mean, it changes everything.
I
So I
feel
don't
like
know.
Patrick Willis. I think Patrick Willis either way would have retired.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have any.
His
doubt
turf
in my
wasn't
mind.
getting any better.
if not sooner.
Yeah,
I have a ring. I'm gone.
I
Like, why
think if
keep
they
playing?
win, I feel like they win the Super Bowl, Alex stays the starter. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like once they lost that chance, and then they saw they saw what the offense could do with a different dynamic added to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And once they saw that, and then you add Frank Gore to the mix too. You have this an unbelievable running back, this pretty damn good offense. I'll tell you what, that offensive line with
Oh, it's
Upati,
fantastic.
they
It's
were
fantastic.
they were
yeah.
huge. They
Yeah.
were
It was
huge.
it was
It was
Upati.
Staley, Iapati, Godwin. Who was the right guard?
It was what's his
Anthony
name?
Alex
Davis was
Boone.
the tackle. Alex Boone, that's who it was.
Alex
yes.
Boone. They
Dude.
were good.
Did you
They
ever
were
hear the story
nasty
about
up there,
him? Like when he lost his mind and he like jumped up on top of a car and was like stomping it. He had some
Well, that's
issues
fun.
early in his career, and then he like fixed himself. Yeah, he was a psychopath. But yeah, I
Have
feel
you-
like
Have you heard the Justin Smith catching Joe Seeley's furniture on fire story that the Grit Code guys told?
What did he do? I think I have. What?
He I guess in a roundabout way, I don't know all the details, but like in some way, like they're over at Joe Staley's house and like Justin Smith ends up like catching his outside furniture and like putting it on fire. Because he's just going crazy. And it's like
who's going to stop him?
That's nuts, man. Like, you're not stopping that cowboy.
No.
Don't burn your house down. You're just going to take it.
Dude, he would steal your wife from you, do what he had to do, be done with it, and there would be nothing you could do about it because he'd kick your ass. It's just like, damn it.
Get in your hotel chair.
It's so weird to think about
Totally
the 2012.
Totally being a cuck. Yep.
That 2012 defense, like how did they give up that many points to the Baltimore Ravens with
That's
Joe
Flacco, man.
Flacco and Anquan Bolden,
R.I.P. man.
Jacoby Jones.
Corey Smith was there.
Justin Smith was hurt in that game. He was very injured. And
he was injured playing. But you had Alden Smith out there.
It just goes to show you how bad that safety room actually was at covering.
They were getting burnt
all year, all the time, and like. Chris Culliver wasn't great. It was like Terrell Brown and Carlos Rogers in the last year of his twilight of his career. It's like, man.
Yeah, that's
good times. Good times.
I mean, look at the championship game against the Saints or the divisional game. They couldn't freaking cover wet paint. They were bad, dude. That was Chris
Culliver. Remember him?
Like Chris Culliver. For as applauded as that defense is, I do think we forget like how bad they were on the back end at covering.
Yeah, like, they were pretty rough.
Over the top, it was over. Like they just couldn't cover.
Okay.
They all would come downhill and they'd lay the hammer, but that was all they can do, which was great. But it's like after a while, you get behind them.
So let's jump real quick to what year was that? 2019 against the Chiefs. Yeah. If they pull that off and they win that game, do the Niners stick with Jimmy Garoppolo, or do you think at that point they were like, we're done?
They didn't even win and they kept him.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but they drafted Trey Lance. I don't even think they make that trade to get Trey Lance.
No, I think you're capitalizing on the win now mode. You're not going into rebuild or hoping the quarterback develops in a couple of years. I think they're paying up for Stafford, or they're just getting Kirk Cousins and calling it a day.
Yeah.
Which I would hate that, but
Well, you have to understand too, like, you guys do understand, like, Kyle. With that, when everything's rolling with the Niners and like the defense is playing well and offensively Kyle's in his bag.
They did.
Go ahead. If you have a quarterback who's average to a slightly above average, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, like you can win the Super Bowl with that. Everybody always talks about Purdy not being elite and then he's not an elite level player. Who gives a shit? Like with Kyle and the way this team is built and the way he calls plays and when the defense was clicking, like. I don't really care if they win a Super Bowl and their quarterback isn't, the top of the top, So, yeah, I could have saw Kirk Cousins come here and do the same thing. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, they did stick with him in the 2020 season, but after that, that's when they were like, hey, we got to make a move, and let's get a young quarterback in here instead of paying this guy, Jimmy Garoppolo. But if you won the Super Bowl, I don't know if they make that change. They might say, you know what, we won the Super Bowl with him. But I don't know. Him and Jimmy and Kyle's relationship was never really rock solid.
Yeah, I think the only thing that changes is the trade up for Trey Lance. Yep. I don't think it changes the career arc at all because Jimmy still gets hurt in week 2 of 2020. You have the COVID season, and then 2021 happens, and Jimmy Garoppolo was still there as a starting quarterback with Trey. Now, maybe the move is 2022 instead of 2021 of like, okay, but even then Jimmy was brought back in 2022. It's not if they didn't keep him. He finished out his entire contract and got paid by the Raiders. Like whether they won a Super Bowl or not, he finished out his contract with the San Francisco 49ers anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, but I do think they're not going from Jimmy to Trey or Jimmy to Purdy. They're going from Jimmy to somebody else who's more proven at that point in time.
Who are we selecting that year, if we're not selecting Trey Lance?
Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Micah
we would have finally gotten that other edge rusher.
What year was it?
It was 2021 was Trey Lance's draft class.
Yep.
Panay Sewell was there. Well,
because 2020 we had the injury. We had the injury season, and we had a bad, we had a bad run.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What year was it?
2021.
All right. Well, all my monitors turned off for a second.
Because it goes,
thanks.
it's like it's Lawrence, it's Wilson, it's Lance, and then like mixed in there is like Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Micah Parsons, Mac
Jamar
Jones
Chase,
is in there,
Kyle
Pitts
Pitts
or something.
Pitts
Yeah,
went
Scott
right
Pitts
after Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell,
Yeah.
J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain. This is a loaded draft.
Imagine J.C. Horn in San Francisco playing
or
corner.
Pat Surtain,
Yeesh, yeah.
Devontae Smith,
I would have taken Jason Waddle.
good
He's a
guys.
pretty damn good receiver.
Micah Parsons went number 12
Good
to the
old
Dallas
Jalen
Cowboys.
Waddle. You know what's crazy though is like the receivers in that first round were Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Smith. You can make an argument that Jalen Waddle is the worst one of that group, which
Yeah,
is
he
crazy,
is,
and he's
he
still really
is.
good.
Yeah, it's
All right,
funny.
can you guys see that?
No. You know what's crazy about that, Sterling, is
Zaven Collins.
my brother. We were talking about the Dolphins and what they're doing. They're like completely like gutting the team.
Yeah,
My
love
brother
it.
was like, oh, for certain they're going to keep Waddle. They said it during a press conference. I'm like, I'm guaranteed they wouldn't. And then it didn't happen. And then he's like, no, they're not going to move on from Achan. I'm like, dude, they're going to gut this whole thing. Nobody's safe.
I mean,
Achan's the one guy I can see staying. If I'm being honest,
He's really good.
Yeah.
when you look at this top 12, obviously Micah Parsons is there. A lot of good players are there. If they were just they were drafting what they needed, do you think they take Micah Parsons at number 3? They had number 12 to begin with, right?
yeah. So what? So like, what's the needs in 2012? You're coming off of 2020.
No, 2021.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. You're coming off
Colin
of 2020
Kaepernick.
still. Yeah. Like Trent Williams is still there. Bosa's coming off an ACL injury. Your defensive line is Samson Ebukam. It's Arden Key. It's Nick Bosa. It's Kerry Hyder Jr. It's Armstead. I mean, you might be going defensive line and you might be going defensive tackle. Like, well, no, because 2020 you drafted Javon Kinlaw, so you're not going defensive tackle.
You're not.
And you went Brandon Ayuk the year before, so you're not going receiver either. You know what? Well, if they're 12, Kyle Pitts isn't there after them from 17 and on.
Let's see. Let me scroll down.
Because let's see.
Go full screen. You can see it. It's much easier.
Let's see. Oh yeah,
You
it is.
got
Okay.
Holy crap! I
J-
still can't see.
Jalen Phillips.
You know what? This is pre
Kadarius
Christian
Toney.
McCaffrey. It's pre Christian McCaffrey. I do wonder if Kyle's like, I need to get myself some Travis Etienne or Achan, whatever his name is. I could really see it. Or he's going. Well, no. You know who would could fit
Najee
them?
Harris. What?
Dude. So this is 1 year after they took McKivitz. McGlinchey's still there. He leaves in 2023, right? So they have their tackles fixed. They're done. Dang, dude. I don't know.
Like Penei Sewell's amazing, but you're right. They probably
He'll be
would not have
fine.
gone with Penei Sewell. It's hard to say.
And they're not drafting a tight end either. There's just it's not
And-
happening.
No. Kittle's
At
still on
this
his prime.
point, they already had what? They had Ayuk and they had Debo. Kittle. I don't know. They might go DB. If they traded up and let's say they're like, we're not going to get a quarterback. We're just going to go with the best player available. They might go DB. Then they might still go receiver with Jamar Chase, but he probably would have been like, I don't want to play there. I want to play for Cincinnati with Joe Burrow.
I think they go Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They see what
it's
they
either.
lost.
Yeah.
They see what they lost with D Ford, and the injuries and it was a bad trade. The Niners
This
got
is a
duped.
bad trade. They should have never have done this trade.
But you think about that, Micah Parsons right there becomes the bookend, and then look how good that Niners defense would be with prime Dre Greenlaw, prime Fred Warner, prime Nick Bosa,
Prime Micah, Prime Jimmy Ward still,
prime Jimmy Ward.
Prime
Okay.
Richard Sherman. Well, I guess
So-
not anymore, but still.
Yeah,
I know we're talking about a lot about the what ifs, but let's talk about the current what ifs, which is basically Trent Williams. We know that he had
What a
a
segue.
we know that we had a $10 million option that the Niners chose not to exercise. That would have spread that out for like $2 million for the next like 2 or 3 years, 4 years. No, they instead increased his pay to $32 million. Now, the Niners feel confident that they can restructure and redo this deal to make it right on both sides. Mike Florio, which I don't care for whatsoever,
Neither do I.
he believes the Niners are just going to sit and wait and let everyone spend all their money, and then Trent will not have anywhere else to go or have a good offer, and then he'll have to take the offer the Niners offer to him. But Trent's not stupid. Trent will sit things out and be like, no, I'm not doing this. What do you think it takes to sign Trent Williams and get this over with? Sterling?
What did it cost for the Commanders to sign Laramie Tunsil?
I had
You guys
that up.
know?
I don't remember what it was. Wasn't it? What was it? Say it.
I got to find it first.
Oh, God damn it. I thought it
was
was 2
asking.
years. Wasn't it 2 years, 60 million? It was like 30
Yeah,
million
it's like
a year.
it's like 2 years, $30 million a year, something like that, and it's like
Yeah.
50 mil guarantee, whatever. It'll be a little bit below that because he's older, but like the Commanders gave you the baseline, like they gave you the benchmark, what you're looking for. So, now I don't know if either one of you guys want to pay Trent $30 million a year.
Well, at the same
or
time,
even 29, 28.
yeah, it'd be for his last couple years. Yeah. But if they want to get it done, if they want him out there, he's not going to come back for anything less than $28 million a year. That's what I think.
Dude, knowing Trent could easily say, I'm a gold jacket waiting to happen. Give me 31. Sorry. Like Trent could do that and he'd have leverage over them. So it's not a perfect one for one, obviously. There has to be some give and take there, but like Trent could easily be like, I don't have to play next year. Now I think he will. They'll figure things out. But like Trent could easily be like, I'm not playing. I'm done. I have no reason to come back. See you guys later.
Well, here's a clip from Mike Florio.
Oh God,
I don't like either one of these guys, him or Chris Sims. I'm like,
Chris Sims. I thought Chris Sims' head is so big. I never realized it. He has got a giant dome.
His dad's head's big.
Look at mine. I mean, I have a pretty
That
good
was
sized head, but he definitely dwarfs. He definitely, his head's big.
All right, here we go.
Look
Here's
at the
these two
size of that
douchebags.
thing. Holy shnikey.
And this was initially couched as a problem with his cap number. Look, it's a problem with his cash. $32 million. The salary's 32. The option bonus is 10. Not exercising the option bonus pushes the salary to 32. They don't want to pay $32 million in cash to a guy who's going to turn 38 in July.
Yeah.
So, and the problem with no guarantees in the contract, Chris, they can just squat and wait. And as time goes by, other teams will have blown their budgets, and Trent Williams becomes more likely to take the 49ers' best offer because there may not be a better offer out there because all those teams have spent their money. That's the game the 49ers are playing. And if I was Trent Williams, I'd be pissed about it.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear Chris Sims talk. What do you think about what Florio said? Chris Sims, okay, you know what I love is that all these crappy NFL players are like, they're like the top analysts. Like, what's his name? The guy who's all about Ty Simpson.
Oh, Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky, crappy quarterback. Even the guy Emmanuel Acho,
Yeah, dude,
he's a
I
crappy
can't stand
linebacker.
him.
Chris Sims, bad
pronounces
left-handed
everything.
backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip with? Let me get these douchebags off the thing. Did you
He's
see
growing
the,
another forehead, by the way. Did you see that thing?
Yeah,
It's big. It's
the
big.
video with Fournette when he's like,
Yeah.
Emmanuel Echo.
It's like,
I like
How many
don't
games
start
he
a
start?
podcast.
I
Don't
like how
start a
Emmanuel
podcast.
Acho, like he thinks because he's very articulate.
Yeah.
That if you ever listen to him talk, it's just like word salad. He doesn't say anything. He's just really articulate. And it's kind
I
of
mean,
funny.
sometimes he does. I mean, like he'll do his little breakdowns of plays, and like he obviously understands the game.
Yes. He played it.
Yeah, but I
Suck-ass
mean,
guys usually do because they spend most of their time on the sideline with coordinators and coaches.
but here's the thing though, is that when for instance, right, like we do this every week, right, and a lot of us are doing videos throughout the week as well.
Yeah.
So we're used to doing this, and we're used to being on camera, we're used to talking on microphone, we're used to working with one another. And then you see some podcasts where you go to watch it and they go, so San Francisco, I think I think that Dre Greenlaw is going to bring a lot of heat on the defense. We were just like, okay, clearly this is not something that you're really good at. You're just trying to do it. And then when you see NFL players do it, it's even worse. Deebo Samuel, terrible podcast. He couldn't talk. He's like, oh yeah, what's up? And then, and I would say Fred Warner's gotten better, but at first he was terrible at it. Certain
what's
guys
crazy
are good, others are not.
All of these big places like Fox, ESPN, every NFL player, MLB player, NBA player, they can get hired and they put all of them through media training.
They do.
Like when I entered at Fox Sports Radio, they had the pipeline like signups. Like if you want to come in and get media training, it's free. We just want to market and use your name for our business. So it's not like there's an excuse for Deebo Samuel or somebody else, not even him exactly, to be terrible at what they do.
He was terrible.
But also, the podcast of Deebo and Brandon Ayuk talking, I was like, oh my God.
Did you guys ever?
This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Did you?
These are the guys running Kyle's offense.
Did you guys ever hear about why Joe Montana didn't stay as a media person after he retired? He did it like 1 year and stopped.
Yeah, he did for CBS, I think.
He said he had an issue. He never liked when people who weren't close to the team or weren't like in the building would make assumptions and accusations and come to conclusions. Sure. Without knowing the inner workings. And he never wanted to be the guy that would do that, because he had too much respect for the game. So you know how it is. Joe is too nice to be like an Emmanuel Acho or all these other guys who they are all about being provocative is the word. And they're willing to say things that can stir up things within the organization. So like, I find it funny that Joe is just like, hey, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be a sellout like the rest of these guys.
Well, didn't Acho buy the Speak for Yourself or the Speak or Undisputed YouTube account? He didn't even grow his own fan base. He bought a different YouTube channel from Fox Sports and just uses that instead.
Wait,
that's why Emmanuel Acho did not create whatever his show is called, Speakeasy, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He did not create that brand and it grew overnight. He bought one of Fox Sports's like defunct shows, Undisputed or Speak for Yourself, whatever it was, and bought their YouTube channal and grew it from that. Like,
so he already had it. It came.
He didn't organically grow it. He just started posting videos to an already established channel.
Well, I know a YouTuber that did the same thing. Yeah, they bought their channel was already owned by somebody, and they bought it from him.
Yeah,
yeah, I knew that. I'm not going to say who.
We know who it is. Big names. Big
sweaty guy.
Oh man.
Big sweaty guy. Okay, so having said
Trent
that,
Williams.
Trent Williams, will he come back? I don't know. Will the Niners get Myles Garrett? No, I don't believe so. Matt Maiocco did drop this little bit of information, which I don't think is shocking to anybody. Matt Maiocco does not expect the 49ers to take an offensive lineman before the 4th round in the upcoming draft. Well, they're not going to use a 1st round or a 2nd round. That's get lost.
And they don't have a 3rd rounder.
Remember that, Sterling.
They don't have a 3rd rounder. They traded for Odigizua, which I think he's going to be really good on the Niners.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
but no, they have all their picks are in the 4th round, and then their draft is over. So they have so many picks in the 4th round that like that's the day to, if you're going to do a live stream on the draft for your Niners content creator, that's the day to do it on. You're like, all right, here we go. It's going to get juicy now.
Would you guys be willing to do that?
They just trade back a bunch of times to round 7.
I know, like, damn it.
You're like, yeah.
They're like, we don't feel confident in round 4, so we're going to get out of here.
Would you guys be willing to do that if you guys were available and just all 3 of us sit and watch the 4th round?
Yeah.
If I'm
available,
sure. I'm hoping I get to work the draft again this year, but we'll see.
On Fox Sports Radio?
No, on 95.7.
Fox Sports Radio.
What about the Pig and the Pickle show?
If he invites me, maybe. If I get to talk, maybe.
Well, I've been going through the same thing tonight. I've barely gotten like 2 words in.
I'm sorry.
Right,
that's my fault. Right, that's my fault.
Aaron, you get 20 minutes. Talk to yourself.
No, you don't want
what
that.
What exactly do you have to want to say?
The floor is yours. Okay, so this is one of the last things I didn't want to talk about. Sorry not to cut you off, Aaron. But Ian Rappaport, the Rap Sheet, posted a video talking to Bryce Huff about his sudden retirement. I got about I don't know, 3 minutes in this video, and I was already not paying attention. It was about like
Yeah.
some kind of nanoparticle lithium ion batteries that don't burn up on airplanes. I was like, what?
I also find it so funny that like they had to have this segment of like, what did Bryce Huff retire? Like he didn't put out a 5-minute video explaining or the reason why he was retiring. Like 2 weeks ago. We all know what happened. It's
and that was a sleeper of that was a sleeper of a video too. I was like, what am I watching?
Like, do you want to know why?
Like, this video right here, he's just like,
it's been several weeks since you made the announcement on your Instagram.
Like he's fucking interested in where is it? If I could find it. There's all these screenshots of like weird like golden particles. I was like, what? Right there.
It's his website. It's the lithium battery stuff.
And that's something that us at Neighborstone are taking personally to.
It says Neighborstone. Is Malik Neighbors involved in this
I don't think
this
so.
business? That would make more sense, but and where is he at? Is he in the closet? I mean, it's just a white wall, white door. Like, is that even a door? Or is that just an inset on the wall? I don't know.
Is he laying
My
on
question
his
is,
back and the camera's above his head, and that's just like an indentation in the floor? Like what?
he's like Snapchat filtering himself, like he used to do in like 2011.
In an office, yeah.
I do wonder though, like when they were getting their ass kicked against Seattle, he was like, "Dude, Neighborstone, here we come."
Hey,
man.
Neighborstone,
This is
baby.
it. It's
I got to invest more time in Neighborstone.
You know what I really care about? Ion particles.
like lithium batteries. I don't care about football anymore. This is terrible. I'm tired of playing this.
Yeah, I
that
couldn't
loss.
believe that he retired because I mean, at this rate, how much they were going to pay him, they were going to bring him back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're not
He was
going
only
to
gonna
We all
make
assumed he was the guy. We were like, "Oh man, this is gonna be great." Can't wait
$6
to
million. They were like,
Mike
fuck yeah.
and Bryce Huff next year, and it's like, never mind.
And then they're like, oh, okay, well, there goes that idea. And we just traded for Odigizua. But the Niners they need to get another defensive end, either through the draft or through free agency. It's almost to the point now where it's almost worth looking to draft one in the first round. First round for me is definitely it's going to go either defensive end or wide receiver. I think personally, I think it's going to be wide receiver. I think that's where they're going to go round one.
I think so too.
Because even Zion Young, he has the background issue, which they may have been like, oh, he's not a model citizen, he's out.
Will that Boston guy be available that everybody's talking about? That is supposed to be the next Mike Evans if they can draft him.
There's Cassius Howell.
Hope so.
That's a guy they can get maybe in the second round.
I've been looking at some of the
Junior probably be gone.
Yeah, and Omar Cooper Jr. reminds me a lot of Deebo Samuel. Wait, what?
Aaron went to go talk and he went, you jumped right in over.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. My thoughts are gone.
You want to talk? Come on.
No,
Let it out.
I don't really have. No. I was going to say I've been trying to look at some of these. I'm starting to get into draft, looking at the draft. I've been using ChatGPT to like.
Oh, come on.
No. But listen.
List me the best receivers and why they're.
No.
They should
All
be picked.
I said no. I'm going like who players connected with the 49ers.
Okay.
Or receivers to make sense or whatever. And I'm trying to get. It's hard because I actually was more into the draft a couple years ago, and then I've kind of like backed out of it. So
Chris Bell has become the hot name
Dude, you don't
today.
need to watch. You don't need to go on ChatGPT. Just watch YouTube, man. There's plenty of content. Go watch Marcus Whitman, that franchise guy. He's always great.
What about? Well, that's the thing is I don't watch college football.
Well, here's the thing though.
I don't know who to watch.
If you just go on and do mock drafts by yourself, like.
Yeah.
You'll learn a lot just from that alone. And then a lot of the mock drafts have you can click on their info and it'll tell you everything about it, about him and their attributes. As it gets closer to draft time, they'll actually tell you who they're most comparable to. And you're like, oh, okay, that gives me a good idea.
They really say that Boston guy is really, they said that he's.
See, I like Denzel Boston a lot, but to me, he seems like another X receiver. He seems like if you draft Denzel Boston, he should be your Mike Evans.
No, maybe he becomes your number 2 when he's on the other side.
Yep.
You know,
I don't know.
Mike Evans Mike Evans slides into the slot.
Yeah, okay. I came here because I'm missing one piece.
He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care, Mike Evans, if he was a slot receiver. Yeah.
Imagine having 2 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" receivers in the red zone.
Yes.
It's night.
What do you think about Chris Bell? He's been a hot topic the past day or so and there's been talk that the Niners are in on Chris Bell as maybe the pick.
Everybody.
You know what's crazy is like Chris Bell out of Louisville. I don't often trust Tony Pauline because he's wrong. Like
Larry does.
Yeah.
You guys.
But like in this case, he was on them liking Isaac Guerrero. Same college. Maybe he has a source there. Maybe it's accurate. So I think they like Chris Bell. Why wouldn't you like Chris Bell? He's one of the more dominant, dynamic players after the catch in this class, next to Casey Concepcion and Omar Cooper. Like, there's no reason to be like, I don't like Chris Bell. The only problem is the ACL injury. And he's not this, like, insanely talented route runner. He's just Deebo Samuel, albeit, a decade younger, kind of like that, coming off an ACL injury. There's differences there, but still.
If Trent Baalke was here, he'd be like, ooh, ACL injury, huh?
ACL, baby, ACL.
I'm over that guy. Chris Bell.
How many times?
You draft this guy and stash him. I'm gonna draft Will Redmond. He's gonna come in and be an incredible corner, and he's never gonna take the field.
I sound like John Laurinaitis.
I can't believe that he drafted.
He sounds like Clown Shoes. Mr. What is it? Mr.
I cannot believe that he took Will Redmond, never took the field.
Dude.
And he took who was the other guy, the running back? Who had
Marshawn Lattimore?
Yes.
Oh,
and it was like, bro, you could have signed him as a free agent. Even Lattimore was like, I couldn't believe they drafted me.
Bro's knees were like when you overcook chicken on the smoker and you go to pick it up and it just completely dissolves and it's just left with bone. That's pretty much what happened to his knees.
Dude.
Casey Concepcion.
Yeah.
He's a little guy though.
Casey Concepcion's going to go to the Chiefs. Watch. Get Kansas Casey drafts Casey.
I did a mock draft a couple days ago, and the Chiefs took Carnell Tate in the first and Concepcion in round 2, and I said, "Oh shit! Like it's over.
It's over.
Oh my god!
They're explosive as hell." With Gardner Minshew throwing the ball. No, actually, it's going to be Justin Fields.
Oh god!
That's awful.
He sucks.
It could be worse though. I mean, you could be the Jets and you could reacquire Geno Smith. I was like,
I'd rather have Geno than Justin Fields, man.
But why would they even do that? Why would the Jets even do that? Like, let's go out there, let's reacquire Geno Smith. Like,
because Aaron Glenn and Frank Reich have no idea what they're doing.
Aaron Glenn is a buffoon.
Yes, so is Reich.
Dumb.
That is one of the worst coaching tandems in football.
Nobody wanted to go coach with that guy this year. Nobody wants to coach.
Wasn't he the head coach at Stanford just like a year ago, 2 years ago?
Before
Frank Reich?
fired.
Frank Reich is still living off that comeback in '93.
Yeah.
He was the Colts head coach for a long time, and then he went to Carolina, and it was like, oh, it's going to be great. It was
awful.
This is disaster. But
Okay, so as we wrap things up, let me ask you, Sterling, because I know you've done a lot more drafts than I have. Who are you taking position-wise with the first pick at number 27? Who is the likely position they're going to go for? Would it be safety, receiver, defensive end?
I think it'll be receiver. I think the way the defense is currently constructed, getting a pass rushing specialist on third downs is much more acquirable. In round 2 than it would be in round 1. There are some guys you like. Akeem Mesidor is in there, Cassius Howell's in there, but they're probably going to be gone. If Akeem Mesidor is there, it does get tricky. He's 25. I know Dre is probably yelling in his pillow because I said that, but I think he's one of the best pass rushers in football in the collegiate level this past year. You can make the case he is the most efficient and effective pass rusher over Ruben Bain, which that's crazy to say, and there's much more ceiling with Bain, but Mesidor is tremendous in his own right. And it's probably a finished product compared to other guys who you take in late round 1 and round 2. But a wide receiver, you're looking at a lot of guys, whether it's Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, if Omar Cooper Jr. falls, we'll see. I don't think Mekhi Lemon will be there. Jordan Tyson should be gone at that point in time. Carnell Tate will be gone, long gone by then. But that's the question, though. Like, if, let's say at pick 27, to Dre's point earlier, do you want another X wide receiver in Denzel Boston? Or do you want the yak after the catch, speedster, get downfield, open things up, that doesn't really have the surest of hands in Casey Concepcion? It's a big question. Or do you say, well, we can find similar or alike players in round 2, albeit they'll be harder to find. And it's a big gap from 27 to 58. That's a really big gap. And then you got to think people that take receivers in round 1 or edge rushers in round 1, they're going receiver in round 2. So you have to think of like who can fall to you is the big question. And with 6 draft picks and none basically past round 4 and not one in round 3, going to hit on every single pick.
You have to at this point. You have
everyone. Like, you cannot take a chance of, well, this guy might become something in 2029.
You can't take a Marquise Siegel. No. You can't take a flyer on someone like this guy. Our assistant special teams coach, he really liked him a lot. Let's go with him.
You guys, Mike and me talked with the Niners filling a lot of holes in free agency. This draft definitely becomes more of a BPA, and they need to really go with best player. No, what I'm saying is
you're right. You're right. It should be that way.
It should be that way because
it never is though.
They've done so many times where they draft somebody and project them to become something, and then they never do. Whereas if you need an edge rusher and the best edge rusher is on the board, you take them.
Okay. Go ahead.
Ask ChatGPT for Aaron. See what it says.
Who would you take? You got Omar Cooper Jr.
Omar Cooper Jr. right there. Cooper
really?
Jr. Yeah.
What about Emmanuel McNeil Warren? You need a safety.
Nope.
He's pretty good.
Don't care. Not a free safety. We're kind of redundant.
Malachi Lawrence, Zion Young. He's dropped quite. He's 48 now. Jesus.
No.
Cassius Howell. You can probably get him later.
He'll go 30 picks ahead of that where he's projected right now.
So let's say we take Omar Cooper Jr. because Denzel Boston's already. Oh, he's right there.
Yep. You taking Cooper Jr. I don't care. Cooper Jr. is a better player, better prospect.
Oh, I don't have it on fast mode. That was.
Why do you believe that Cooper Jr. is a better?
Oh, you just hit the first round. My bad. There it is. All said and done.
Why is it?
Cooper Jr. to me looks like his highlights remind me a lot of Deebo Samuel. A lot of end arounds, screen passes.
It because he's kind of a weapon, like a kind of a Swiss Army knife type of guy?
See, Marshman knows what's up.
I think the one thing that the Niners lack right now is guys that can be dynamic with the ball in their hands. And the Niners have Mike Evans. They have Christian Kirk. They have Ricky Pearsall. All guys that have sure hands that can get open. They don't have the guy that you draw plays up for to get the ball in their hands on a consistent basis who can wreak havoc afterwards. Now, you can find some of those guys in round 2 for sure, but Omar Cooper Jr. to me is head and shoulders above people like Casey Concepcion. He's a proven player. He's a winner in college. But even on top of that, this past year, Indiana, bringing on my notes, he's 6 foot, 204 pounds, built pretty well. It's a good size for a player. He's 22 years old.
I love that.
Wow. Young. That's great.
He's got the build and the makings to be a true number 1. So if you're worried about Mike Evans and his age and his durability, now that he had an injury-riddled season last year, I do think Cooper Jr. can become that. Now, there is some projectability in there. You have to realize that he isn't finished just yet. But he's compact. He packs a punch in how he moves. He moves really well for a player his size. There are some drops here or there. There is some concerns with that. He had 5 drops. Excuse me. Great route runner, all 3 levels. He's somebody who, in his routes, Shanahan will be like, that's my guy. Like, I want guys that can get open, that can manufacture plays for. He fights through contact over the middle. He puts his body on the line. He is, despite only being 6 foot, he fights the football in the air, acrobatic. One of the big things about the receivers they currently have is they don't come back for the football. Juwan did that a lot, and Purdy needs players to do that because he'll put the ball in harm's way, saying, I got to give my guys a chance. Denzel Boston does that too because he's a bigger size player, but Concepcion can't do that. Cooper Jr. can kind of be in the middle of that. So he's not got blazing speed, but you don't have to have blazing speed. Deebo wasn't a blazing speed player. He was thick, he'd lower his head, and he'd bring it down. So I just think the way he's built, like my concern is the Rams take him, and it's like, oh crap, like
Yeah.
Not a fan of that one. And that's even over in some mock drafts. Mekhi Lemon, he's gone. So they're different players though. Boston and
do you fear though, like you bring in a player like that and he's essentially kind of a different version of Deebo Samuel. My fear with
way
guys,
better route runner. Deebo couldn't run routes. Couldn't get open.
That's what I didn't know, because it's
way
like
better.
Deebo, once he lost his explosiveness and his ability to kind of break tackles and his ability to stay healthy and all, because his game was built on physicality.
Yeah.
And he had some pretty good breakaway speed. You know what I mean? Like when he got in the open field, Deebo, he was pretty much gone. Knowing that this guy can actually run routes is nice, because Deebo can't. Deebo is his catch radius was small, and it's like I feel like once he lost his ability to kind of be that, a thicker version of Percy Harvin with a little bit more, power, like I feel like he was kind of useless. There was nothing really to his game. So
I mean, he sort of lost his step as his career went on, and even now, I mean, I was surprised. I thought they were going to bring him back. I really did. I thought Kyle was going to be like, "Yo, I want Deebo."
Still
back.
Still might.
Because if you look at it, right,
you don't get the receiver round 1, and there isn't the guy in round 2. They like Deebo.
Debo's coming back. I would think that they'd bring back Deebo over Juwan Jennings.
Is there an edge player in the second round that the Niners could get that could be a difference maker, or are they really all kind of like first round or bust?
This is a deep edge class and wide receiver class, so you can get difference makers in round 1 or 2. Granted, Kyle's more fickle on receivers in the draft than he is edge rushers, and the point is though, like no matter who they draft, they got to start because they don't have anybody else. Like they have to.
Whoever they're drafting in that first round, if it's a receiver, then they have to be a starter.
Even in round 2, because that player has to be an instant impact player. So. You can go to Joshua Joseph from Tennessee, who's 6'2", 240 pounds, but he has 35-inch arms and an 82-inch wingspan, where you're going to have tackles not be able to get to his chest. That's really important.
That's awesome.
And he uses his length pretty well, but despite having all that length, a near 24% missed tackle rate. Why? He doesn't finish plays off. Now, can you unlock some more? Maybe that's Raheem's game, but you can also go for players like Malachi Lawrence, who is 6'4", 250 pounds, and has 33.5-inch arms, and had a 19.6% pass rush win rate last year for UCF. But you played at UCF, you didn't play anybody. Give me an NFL ready tackle. You played. He didn't play anybody.
I want a guy that has production in college. I don't want to. I hate like the whole Drake Jackson thing. Really got to me because it was like. He didn't really have a position. He wasn't a productive sack artist. And then they bring him in and like this whole thing of like coach and develop. Like, no, I want a guy that can come in. Like you said, second rounder, you need to start. You need to have a pretty much polished pass rush plan. I don't want a guy that needs to be coached and maybe in a year or 3, like they keep doing that. Like no more Drake Jacksons. I don't care if a guy is a pass rush specialist and all he can do is rush the passer. If he can do that really well and he had a productive college career, then I say make a move on a guy like that, even in the first round. Even though I would really love for them to get another receiver, because I think the Mike Evans thing, having him be there and then Pearsall becomes, like it would just be a really good room. The receiver thing intrigues me more than anything.
Sure, it's playmaker, right? It's playmaker, and I think the Drake Jackson conversation is interesting because the Niners drafted him knowing USC didn't know how to play him, and it changed coaching staffs, and he was a stand-up linebacker, and then he was on had his hand in the ground, and he had to change his body so much, and then he was an athlete and could do it in college, but it's like now you're asking somebody to put on weight in the NFL, and their body gives out because they can't do it. And so, like, they knew he was a project when they took him. And that's ridiculous. Now, we have Kenny in the chat saying TJ Parker. And I see that, and I saw Matt Mayoko like Parker and put him on his mock draft. But it's like, Aaron says he wants production. Well, Parker has production 2 years ago, but not last year. Now, all of Clemson took a big nosedive this past year. But Parker has the build. He just there's inconsistencies. He's probably a high floor player, but do you want high floor players in round 2 or 1? No. Like you don't want to take high floor players. You want guys that you believe there's more in their tank. And I think with Parker, there are questions of, who are you going to get? And that's a concern. You don't want to have lingering questions of, which guy shows up on Sundays. You want a guy that you at least know what he can do. And, again, going back to Aaron's point of wanting production and wanting somebody who has a already set and defined pass rush plan. That's why I think Cassius Howe makes a lot of sense in round 1. Shorter arms, near 29-inch arms, so he can get, a lot of chest work done. But
those are some little ass arms.
It's like 30 and he's 6'2", 253. He's a tall guy. He's short arms, though.
I don't have really long arms either, so it's probably.
And he's one-dimensional, and he has a high motor, though, and he has speed moves and cross chops and spin moves and euro steps and counters, but he has no power to his game, and he's not a run defender. So he'll pair well with Michael. Or you can go to round 2 again, and you can look at guys like Height from Texas Tech, who played across from David Bailey and played alongside Lee Hunter on their defensive line. He's 6'3", 230, really light player, but that's the type of guy that Raheem Morris likes a lot. He's 25 years old, a little older player, should be an instant impact guy. 17.5 pass rush win rate last year on a pretty good defensive line they had at Texas Tech. And he has those spin moves. He has dips and swipes and spins. So it's like there's kind of a pick your flavor of the week. But if Aaron wants a guy like that that's ready to go, doesn't have concerns, you're not taking Parker. You aren't taking Zion Young because there are concerns there, and it's more of a power profile. Do you want to have a power profile player on the edge on third downs accompanied by Michael? Probably not. So I don't know. It's just it's pick your poison.
Pick your poison is right. Guys, that's going to do it for the show. I want to thank Aaron. I want to thank Sterling for coming out here and delivering another fire stream. Let's go around the horn real quick. Aaron, where can they find you and all your content?
49ers First Takes on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I do about 2 shows a week. I do the Cover 3 show with the guys here. And then usually on Mondays, it's me and Mike and the 49ers Unfiltered podcast.
Okay. Sterling.
That's it.
You can find me on social media at 49ers.access is the Instagram, 49ers_access is the extra Twitter, and you can find me on YouTube and your audio podcasting platforms at 49ers Access. Mock Draft 2.0 comes out Monday, so watch out for that. Should be really, really, really fun. I hope you guys like it.
All right. And you can find me on YouTube over at Dre Area Sports, on X at Dre Area Sports, and on Instagram and Facebook at Dre Area Sports. Very easy. It's the same name wherever I go. Guys, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everyone in the chat, thank you for becoming members of Sterling's channel, the ones that did. And for, obviously providing content and talking in the chat. We love all you guys. Who will the Niners take in the draft? I think it's going to be a receiver. But Cam Latu is who they're going to redraft.
Justin Fields.
They looked at him twice. Like
they said nope twice. They said never mind.
Nope. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.